got Gucci flatwear because you didn't want to buy it. It's not because you couldn't afford it. What do you mean? And immediately, she made me feel this.
Celine had Unbreak My Heart, and she didn't feel that. I don't know what the situation was, but I know I got it. So we kind of flipped off.
Toni Braxton had been moving in silence for years, brushing off any questions about her and Birdman's relationship like it was all just rumors. But guess what? She's not dodging the topic anymore because sources say Toni secretly married Birdman behind the scenes.
Did other people in Cash Money do that, or was it just Baby and Wayne?
Nah, man, we all used to do that. That was an in-house thing. Like, used to be like, you know what I'm saying? I love probably how much you love it.
Yep, she really did it. But here's where it gets wild. Just 2 days later, she allegedly filed for divorce. 2 days. That's not even enough time to unpack the wedding gifts. Then out of nowhere, a few months later, Toni quietly withdrew those divorce papers like nothing ever happened. Fans were left scratching their heads. Did they make up? Did she change her mind? Or was something else going down behind closed doors? Now those whispers about secrecy, money, and Birdman's mysterious habits are creeping back again. And this time, Toni's name is right in the middle of the storm.
So tell me what's poppin'. Y'all get married?
Oh, of course.
Okay.
I've been in love with her for 20 years.
According to reports, on August 8th, 2024, Toni Braxton and Birdman officially tied the knot. But here's the shocking part. Nobody knew. No photos, no videos, no media coverage, not even a single Instagram post. No friends, no celebrity guests, no champagne toast, nothing but silence. For someone as famous as Toni, that silence spoke louder than words. Fans who followed her love life for years were stunned that there wasn't even a small reveal of the dress or a romantic caption. But the real jaw-dropper came next. Court records exposed that Toni filed for divorce just 2 days after saying "I do." 2 days. The ink on the marriage license probably wasn't even dry yet. In those legal documents, she claimed the marriage was irretrievably broken, which, let's be honest, sounds like code for something went really wrong. Fast. Toni's message was loud and clear. There's no fixing this. I want out. That statement alone sent fans into chaos. Some thought it had to be a typo, others claimed it was just a legal mix-up, and a few said gossip blogs probably made it up for clicks. But nope. The court papers were 100% real. Toni Braxton and Birdman actually tied the knot, only for her to pull the plug just 48 hours later. That kind of drama should have kept headlines buzzing for weeks, right? But it only got stranger. About 5 months later, in January 2025, Toni suddenly withdrew her divorce filing with no explanation, no statement, nothing, just silence. One day the papers were there, next day gone. Fans were left asking, what does this even mean? Technically, on paper, Toni and Birdman are still married, but in real life, they don't act like it at all. They don't live together, haven't been seen out in public as a couple, and Toni's been spotted dozens of times without a wedding ring, not even a simple band, nothing. People can't figure it out. Did they secretly make up behind closed doors? Did they never truly break up in the first place? Or did Toni pull those documents for some sneaky reason we don't know yet? The whole thing feels like a marriage that both did and didn't happen. Real one moment erased the next. It's like their love story got deleted mid-scene and nobody can explain why. Some people think Toni's move was pure self-defense. Maybe financial, maybe legal, or maybe straight-up emotional protection.
How you doing? Wait,
Others whisper that she might have seen or found out something right after the wedding that made her run for the hills. Because when it comes to Birdman, there's always more beneath the surface, and his past keeps creeping back up. Let's not forget, Birdman's got deep connections with the artists he signed, and one of the biggest names on that list is Lil Wayne. Their story goes way back to 1991, when Lil Wayne was just 8 years old. He was drawn to Birdman's flashy lifestyle and street reputation, eventually becoming a regular in his circle. Birdman noticed Wayne's raw talent early, calling him a young prodigy, and soon signed him to his label. But here's where things got real weird. Around that same time, Birdman and Wayne got way too close. So close that Wayne started calling him Dad. And then, the infamous moment happened. In 2002, during an appearance on BET's Rap City, Birdman and Lil Wayne shocked everyone by kissing on the lips. And years later, they did it again on 106 and Park. When questioned, Birdman brushed it off saying, "I'm the only person he kisses." He even doubled down later on Big Facts podcast, saying there was ain't no freaky-ish about it, just love between father and son. Birdman claimed the kisses came from fear he might not make it home every night, that each goodbye could be his last. Still, fans couldn't help but raise eyebrows. That father-son bond didn't look like any most people have ever seen before.
Did other people in Cash Money do that, or was it just baby and went?
Nah, man, we all used to do that. That was an in-house thing. Like, used to be like, you know what I'm saying? I love probably how much you love it.
Meanwhile, 50 Cent decided to stir the pot in the most 50 Cent way possible. Instead of doing interviews or throwing shade online, he went straight to the booth and dropped a bar claiming Birdman had an affair with Lil Wayne. He slipped the jab into one of his tracks, Part-Time Lover, and of course, it turned into another hit. Nobody does messy subliminals like 50, and fans knew exactly who he was talking about.
We were young. We just used to be like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like somebody hitting somebody on the ass. You know what I'm saying? When they playing basketball, that don't mean they...
When Birdman was asked about the whole situation by the BBC back in 2009, he didn't even flinch. He doubled down, saying, "That's my son, you heard me. If he was right here, I'd kiss him again." That comment left everyone stunned. And just when people thought he might have been exaggerating, multiple Cash Money associates confirmed it. They said the stories were real, not gossip. Some even admitted that they'd kissed Birdman too, saying it wasn't anything strange to them. Yep, they all claimed it was normal. The early 2000s were wild times for Cash Money Records. Fans and media outlets were side-eyeing the whole crew. Birdman, Lil Wayne, Turk, all of them, for greeting each other with kisses on the lips. The rumors got so loud that Turk himself decided to clear the air in an interview with Vlad TV. He said the kiss wasn't about anything weird. It was supposedly a Mafia-style greeting. Still, the internet wasn't buying that explanation. People kept asking, what kind of Mafia kisses on the lips, though? The confusion only fueled the fire, and the speculation around Birdman's private life has never really cooled off since. Turk tried to explain it away, saying it was just a family thing. He said, "It's like this. Back then, I wouldn't kiss my son on the mouth now, but when you were young, that's how it was. You love me? Kiss me in front of everybody." He went on to add, "See, if we did it in front of a female or something, it was just a quick peck, like, I love you. I seen a few dudes do that too, so I get it. I don't look at you as gay or anything. I understand the love you got for your homeboy." But here's where things get tricky. Turk's attempt to defend Birdman actually made people talk even more. His whole explanation made it sound like Birdman was just too comfortable doing that kind of stuff when the cameras weren't rolling. And back in the early 2000s, before social media blew up, things could stay secret way longer. So now fans are wondering, was Birdman really just misunderstood, or was there more to the story that nobody dared to say out loud? And while all this was unfolding, some fans started connecting the dots. Maybe Toni Braxton's rough career journey played a role in why she linked up with Birdman in the first place. Remember, she's been through 2 bankruptcies, health battles, and years of public scrutiny. She even joked once, "I've heard people say I own Gucci dishes. I don't have any Gucci dishes, and I am bankrupt." Toni opened up about her financial downfall during VH1's Behind the Music, and it was heartbreaking. She explained how losing everything shattered her reputation, especially when other celebrities, and including Oprah Winfrey, treated her like she brought it on herself. Around that same time, Toni went on The Oprah Winfrey Show, hoping for compassion. But what happened next made her feel completely humiliated.
I read that you were upset about stories that your overspending caused this.
You got Gucci flatware because you didn't want to buy it. It's not because you couldn't afford it. What do you mean? And immediately, she made me feel this.
Toni thought Oprah would ask gentle questions about her financial struggles, maybe even show a little understanding. But that didn't happen. Instead, Oprah hit her with a tough, borderline cold line of questioning that left Toni completely stunned and speechless. Viewers watching that day could feel the tension. Many said Oprah's tone came off like she was judging Toni, hinting that her bankruptcy wasn't bad luck. It was just Toni's own fault for living too lavishly. The entire interview felt less like sympathy and more like a scolding on national TV. Even after the awkward exchange, Toni kept it classy. She told reporters that she still had love and respect for Oprah, saying she never expected her to be that harsh. But Toni later admitted that the moment crushed her spirit. She recalled Oprah mocking her lifestyle, saying something like, "I heard you have Gucci cutlery. Well, Oprah Winfrey, don't even own Gucci flatware. That jab hit deep. Toni said she felt belittled and embarrassed, especially since she was already at her lowest point. Fans watching were shocked. It looked like Oprah was trying to humiliate her instead of help her rebuild. So how did it even get to that point? To understand Toni's financial collapse, you've got to rewind to the late 1980s, when she first started out with her sisters Tracy, Tawanda, Trina, and Tamar as part of the R&B group the Braxtons. They were young, ambitious, and full of talent. But once Toni saw her solo career taking off, and with her powerful voice and undeniable star appeal, she made the bold move to step away from the group and go solo. That decision changed everything, both for better and for worse. Toni Braxton's solo glow-up started back in 1992 with her breakout hit, Love Shoulda Brought You Home, featured on the Boomerang soundtrack alongside Eddie Murphy. And that song changed her life overnight. By 1993, she dropped her first solo album filled with timeless hits like Breathe Again and Another Sad Love Song, and it went straight to #1 on the Billboard charts. The project sold over 15 million copies worldwide, instantly turning her into one of R&B's biggest names. Then came her 1996 follow-up, Secrets, and that album was pure magic. It gave us her most iconic track ever, Unbreak My Heart. That song didn't just top the charts, it dominated them for 11 straight weeks. It made Toni an international superstar, with her voice defining an entire era of soulful heartbreak anthems. But behind the glitz and Grammys, things weren't what they seemed. Despite her massive success and her label raking in around $170 million in sales, Toni herself was barely seeing any of it. By 1998, she was already in trouble financially. She revealed in a 2012 interview with ABC News that she had just renewed contracts with vendors for her Las Vegas show when her health took a turn. Then I got sick a month later, she explained. I couldn't perform and I couldn't afford to pay them back. So how does a woman who sold over 70 million records worldwide end up filing for bankruptcy not once, but twice?
How could anybody blow through upwards of $50 million? Well, start with a fetish for silverware and sheets, throw in a few other big-ticket items, and mix with some...
Fans couldn't believe it. It's the kind of fall from grace nobody expected from a star as successful as Toni, but the truth behind her money problems was even darker than anyone imagined. Toni's downfall wasn't just bad luck. It was a nightmare record deal that drained her dry while she was at the top of her game. Her contracts were so tight that even when she was breaking records, she was barely making a dime. Add on serious health issues, and the whole situation turned into a perfect storm of disaster. In January 1998, Toni Braxton shocked the world by filing for Chapter 7 bankruptcy. Fans couldn't wrap their heads around it. How could someone who just released Unbreak My Heart, a Grammy-winning global hit that sold over 5 million copies, be completely broke? Let's not forget, just 2 years earlier, Toni had released Secrets, her second album, which sold over 6 million copies in the US and another 3 million worldwide. Her first 2 albums alone brought in around $170 million for the label, yet Toni herself didn't see the money. Court filings later showed that her label, Arista/Layface Records, kept nearly everything. Toni revealed in an interview, I sold more than 40 million records, and my royalties were less than $2,000. That's not a typo. $2,000.
Celine had Unbreak My Heart, and she didn't feel that. I don't know what the situation was, but I know I got it. So we kind of flipped up.
She went on to explain what most fans didn't realize. Artists only earn 4 to 7 cents per dollar for each album sold, and they're forced to pay back millions in recoupable expenses. Everything from production to promotion comes out of their pockets. Frustrated and drained, Toni finally fought back. Just weeks before filing bankruptcy, she sued the label, demanding to be released from her contract. She wanted her freedom, her money, and her name back. But what came next would pull her even deeper into chaos, both in her finances and in her personal life. Toni Braxton wasn't living the glamorous life people imagined. Not even close. Her lawyer later told the LA Times that Toni was only getting 33 cents per record sold. Can you believe that? One of the most successful R&B artists in the world, selling millions of albums and barely making pocket change from it. As time went on, more ugly details about her deal with Arista Records came to light. Executives flat out refused to renegotiate her contract. No higher royalties, no bigger advances, nothing. And this was while Toni was one of their top-selling artists. She wasn't just singing hits, she was carrying the label's success. But despite her impact, the company offered zero flexibility. Insiders say the lack of financial support and cooperation pushed her into a corner, leaving Toni with no choice but to fight back. She finally opened up about it in an interview with Black Enterprise, revealing that after TLC went public about their own bankruptcy battle, the label banned other artists from speaking out. But Toni didn't stay silent anymore. She said, "I sold more than 40 million records, yet my royalties were less than $2,000. People don't understand. This issue even went all the way to Congress. All contracts are null and void except for recording artists. Can you believe that? That was a bombshell." Toni exposed how unfair and one-sided music contracts really were, showing that artists had almost no legal protection. And when critics tried to paint her as reckless with money, saying she blew her cash on luxury items, Toni clapped back hard. She said, "People were reporting things like I bought Gucci flatware, and that's just not true." She wanted the world to know she wasn't broke because she spent too much. She was broke because the industry robbed her blind. Toni wasn't living like a diva at all. She cleared that up quick. "Yes, I treated myself sometimes," she said, "but it was small stuff. $500 sheets, 1,000 count, and they were from TJ Maxx for $49. That's not lavish. That's regular shopping." She admitted she spent money here and there, but she broke it down plain and simple. When an artist only makes 4 to 7 cents per dollar on album sales and has to pay back $20 million in production and promo costs, being in debt isn't reckless. It's inevitable. Her situation was heartbreaking. During an interview with Oprah Winfrey, Toni revealed that despite selling nearly 30 million albums, her royalty check was only $1,972. That's less than a month's rent for someone who topped charts worldwide. To survive, she relied on tour money and tiny advances from her label just to stay afloat. But when the cash ran out, Toni had to start selling her life away. Literally. She sold her home, her jewelry, her clothes, her baby grand piano, even her cars just to cover her bills. It got so bad, she even put her Grammy Awards up for auction. Behind the scenes, she was fighting shame and self-doubt, wondering if her career was even worth saving after being betrayed by the very system that built her up. The world saw the glitz, but Toni was quietly battling humiliation and financial ruin. And here's where Birdman's name first entered the picture. Back in 2002, before the romance rumors, their connection started purely through music. The world first saw their names linked when Toni hopped on Birdman's song, "Baby You Can Do It," lending her smooth vocals to the hook. Nobody knew it then, but that collab would spark a bond that would change both of their lives forever. At first, Toni and Birdman's connection was strictly business, just two powerhouse names in the industry linking up for a track and keeping it moving. But what started as a simple collaboration quietly laid the foundation for a friendship that lasted over a decade. They stayed in touch, checking in over the years, and slowly that bond started to turn into something more. By 2016, when Birdman was privately battling lupus, Toni stepped in with real support, the kind that doesn't make headlines but means everything behind the scenes. People close to them say that was the turning point, the moment their friendship began to cross into deeper, more emotional territory. Then came 2017, when Birdman made a surprise appearance on Braxton Family Values. Fans couldn't believe their eyes. The chemistry was undeniable. Viewers instantly started speculating that these two weren't just friends anymore. And sure enough, by 2018, Birdman popped the question and Toni said yes. The internet went wild. It looked like wedding bells were finally coming for R&B royalty. But just as things heated up, they cooled down just as fast. By early 2019, rumors spread that the engagement was off. No wedding, no updates, just silence. Fans were left confused again. Then, years later, they made headlines one more time. Reports in 2024 claimed Toni and Birdman had secretly tied the knot in private. Of course, that sparked chaos online, especially since just a year earlier, in 2023, Toni publicly said she was single. So what's the truth? Were they really married or just playing the media game their own way? With these two, nothing is ever clear, and that mystery keeps everyone guessing. One thing about Toni Braxton, she's a survivor, no question about it. She's faced heartbreaks that could have broken anybody else, battled serious health issues, and survived the madness of the music industry. And she did it all while staying graceful, focused, and holding her head high. She's built from strength, and that's what's kept her standing through every storm. But when it comes to Birdman, something about that situation hit different. Whatever happened between them clearly shook her to the core. She married him. That's undeniable. But something right after must have blindsided her so bad it made her run fast. Whether it was betrayal, regret, or something darker, it left her shattered in a way money or fame could never fix. Now, Toni's doing what she's always done best, handling it quietly, privately, trying to heal without letting it turn into a circus for the whole world to watch. But make no mistake, she's not disappearing. She's leaving behind small hints, subtle signs, and quiet moves that tell a much deeper story than anyone realizes. And if you pay close attention, you can feel it. You know, there's something Toni's not saying out loud, but her actions are screaming it. The truth has a way of coming out eventually, even when it whispers. And when this story finally unfolds, it's bound to shake everyone who thought they already knew what really went down.